I'm not sure if I'm comfortable being around you anymore.
Why not?
I don't know. You give me the creeps a little bit. You're so stressed today.
Because of what, man?
Walking around like a madman.
Yeah,
Steam coming out of your eyes.
A bit in a dark place for last week.
Dark place, smashing doors, grabbing
doors.
Just
Was I I wasn't smashing doors.
Instantly, like grabbing your laptop, walking out, anger, in anger, smashing doors.
I do have to say, anger is a good emotion to push yourself.
Yeah.
But simultaneously is also a terrible emotion. Yeah. However, it got me through the day.
Yeah, but what about me? What about us, No, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I know you're under quite a bit of pressure because with... that was a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, get those dollars in.
Mm-hmm.
Show to the camera. There we go. Yeah. So no, but I know you're under a lot of pressure because your guys are going fast right now, landing some great projects, some long-term stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're hiring, back-end developers, front-end developers,
database engineers,
product designers.
Yeah.
So that's
tech
a good
leads.
thing.
Yeah, it is a bit wild currently. And simultaneously, it's also, I don't know how these things always come together, but we're also having like a couple of very serious enterprise clients for our SaaS product. So I don't know. Sometimes you're waiting for things to happen, and sometimes it happens all at once. And currently the latter is happening.
Yeah, but that's then of course the nature of the business, right? Especially with Eli 5, which is a bespoke agency, versus what we're trying to do with Noco and other initiatives, which are either a software product or a productized services agency, where the whole trick is to create some predictability.
Mm-hmm.
With a software studio, you will always be a little bit, in the hands of faith and momentum and what shows up.
Yeah, I'd say so. But then we are also working for very long times together with clients. So it's all business critical software. It's more like when things starting simultaneously and stuff is happening in our own ventures. It's nothing we can't handle, but it's just it's busy now. And the annoying thing for me is that maybe I'm also doing this to myself, but I want to I want to talk to everyone that we're hiring. So everyone that comes in for a conversation, I talk to them first for 15 minutes, bit of a sanity check. But yeah, it's just costing a lot of time. I'm doing the recruiting online myself, talking to them. But yeah, it's for the better,
The thing is, I understand you. I'm like that myself, very hands-on when it comes to these things, sometimes to your own detriment. But, at the end of the day, I think it has always been a net positive.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe not for yourself personally, for your state of mind and your...
It's temporary, man. And all the people that are here now, we did this exact same thing, and we have people here that are working here longer than 10 years. And I don't know. It's good to pay some extra attention to these kind of things, especially with the size of company that we are, which we also intend to maintain to a certain extent. We don't want to become a large agency that does tons of different projects. We rather do the very interesting ones that bring us very specific knowledge as well, and that can lead to basically SaaS companies, and maybe we can do that together with clients. There's always like specific stuff in projects that we can leverage, that we can turn into our own business. And I prefer to scale it up that way. I think having it's still an agency model. Having an agency business like Eli 5, it's very good to create the profits that can actually fund the SaaS businesses or the software businesses that we do ourselves. And I always like that better than hitting it off with a VC from the get-go. I mean, the team is important. That is what it comes down to. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the team, speaking of software developers, I read an interesting tweet from Greg Eisenberg about how the software developer jobs are down 70% compared to the peak.
The middle class engineer is dying.
Yeah, so just to give you a couple of notes from his tweet, it's quite long. So software developer jobs are down 70% from peak. People will blame the end of free money. He's talking about, of course, the low interest rates of the past years.
Solid reason. I think it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. But, regarding his other points, I want to hear your take. The middle class engineer is dying, as you said, because they're not needed anymore. One good dev, and here we go again with the AI hype, of course. One good dev with GitHub Copilot ships what entire teams did 5 years ago. Microsoft just reported the highest revenue per employee in history. Entry-level engineer doesn't exist anymore. We have product builders who happen to code, armed with AI. They ship entire products in days. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, the truly elite engineers are making more money than ever. Yeah, okay. In 2025, software engineer doesn't mean what it meant in 2020. And this is what this chart really shows. And then the chart is about the 70% drop from the peak, which was somewhere in 2022.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, early 2022. I mean, to be honest, when I read those type of tweets also from Greg Eisenberg, I do feel like he's always a little bit on the hype train, right? I try to kick some things over and see what type of dust it
yeah, well, I mean, his takes are quite spot on mostly,
but what do you think about this one? Because doesn't it also depend on the level of complexity, the type of customers that you're...
Yeah, but I think then you're already making the point. Because like for example in Eli 5 we don't really hire juniors unless they're like very talented.
Right. So you're already past that stage basically.
Yeah, yeah. It's already too complex what we are doing, and I think also if you look at building MVPs, for example, yeah, I mean amazing that you can do it now with AI, right? But yeah. The more complex products, the things that we build, yeah, we have been using AI in the development team, but it's not having the same effect as it has in an MVP product, you know. So I think he's right, and yeah, it's a matter of time before we can also leverage AI more in our projects. But like all the people here are actually ones that can also understand the overarching logic of the products that we are building.
Exactly.
You know? Whether that's the technical architecture of things, you know, like they are way more high over and they understand all these things. And I think if you had let's say you have a bunch of juniors that are basically just doing the crunch work. Yeah, I can see why they are not that needed anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you even see it at Noco to some extent with, how pervasive AI is becoming. I recorded like our podcast format at 20 minutes yesterday with Yar, who's one of our Webflow developers, and he has been using Cursor in Webflow extensively.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's worth watching. It's on the Noco YouTube channel. He's been using that extensively. He built his first Webflow app using Cursor because, and then he now uses it also in combination with GSAP, for all the animations that you see and that we often apply in the website. And, even with limited coding experience or knowledge, you can basically do everything. You just have your Cursor window open, you pick the language model that you want to use for this or that. And directly in Webflow, you have your window and you can get to work.
Oh, cool.
And so, I can see happening, and this is really already the case, that, traditionally speaking, for a website agency, you also had a junior dev and a senior dev. But we are letting go of that model as well.
Yeah, man.
We don't need it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I see that too. I mean, a bunch of product builders that don't necessarily have like insane coding skills can now build entire products.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the same thing happening. But yeah, I do think he's right, man. It's those at the top that are becoming more valuable. And it's those that just perform the crunch work that becoming more irrelevant. But then, I mean, it's also good, right? Pushes people to become better.
It's such a shift from a couple of years ago, remember? When literally everybody who did like a 3-month coding course on Lambda or something.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you see this meme of this crying NPC figure behind the laptop, like something like crying, and completely frustrated. Like, I did a 3-month coding course and I got rejected for the 200k a year development position or something. I mean, things are changing so quickly because I remember like it was yesterday, like literally everybody who could like do a little coding would get a job. That's completely wiped away.
I feel so too, yeah. But I mean, it's fun, right?
It is fun. It's a good time to be alive. It's be nimble and or die basically.
Yeah, I mean, I find it incredibly cool to see that it's leveling the playing field in a certain way.
For a lot of people, yes.
You have all these like indie builders that have like not that great coding skills. They can just build products now. I mean, Floris just built like a customized newsletter tool, zero coding experience.
Yep.
And it runs.
I'm automating workflows now with Make.com and Zapier.
Yeah.
It's I was actually tinkering with that this weekend with Make.com especially. Did you tinker with it before?
No.
Yeah, they were called Integromat before they changed to Make.com. But it's very nice, man. I also compared some workflows to see what would work best.
What is the workflow that you built it for?
I just started with some simple workflows that are quite time consuming. So of course with Noco and Eli, our joint project is the content motions, right? So we have this podcast. Well, the podcast needs a full episode. It needs all those shorts and all those clips that we plan, schedule for social media, but then also the YouTube shorts itself. And I was still doing, too much coke. So some air needs to get out. No, man. So I was doing all those YouTube shorts myself, and it's a lot of manual steps, right? You have a spreadsheet, and I have my transcripts that I edit in these scripts. So I download the transcripts, or I copy paste them if it's clips, put them in my ChatGPT thread that is trained. It knows that what I need, like the YouTube title, description, tags, timestamps for the full episodes, and we have the content spreadsheet because we have to keep everything in one place. So, I have to schedule the shorts. It's a lot of time. And so those are the things that I enjoy doing. I enjoy sort of continuing this, but I want someone to take it out of my hands or something. So that is the kind of the flow that I started automating. So it's very simple. I have a spreadsheet. Whenever I put a new line in the spreadsheet, so title, description, link to file, then something gets triggered in Make.com, and it parses the file ID of the URL, and then it puts it to another module that is a Google Drive module where I store the clips, so it's able to download the clips based on that file ID, and then it uploads it to YouTube with some specifications that I programmed, and then it gets uploaded. And everything is already done, but I'm expanding this because
we got some funny titles soon.
Yeah, man, we keep an eye out for it. Yes, so I didn't put any fail safes in there. No, it's not too bad. It's actually quite. What I like about Make.com is that you can very easily test where it goes wrong, because all those modules, you can click run once on a module, and then you see exactly in the log of that specific module, even if you have 100 modules, you can see if it all goes right or where it goes wrong. With Zapier, I think you have to like run the whole process, and then you have to sort of go through the steps to see where the error is. So I'm very sensitive to a nice looking UI and an intuitive UI. And hands down, make.com is winning for me. You can also do a little bit more complex workflows like routing and stuff. Then again, Zapier is, long-standing, well-established platform. I think they have like 3,000 app integrations, and Make only has like 1,000. And not only that, I think Zapier also has more, I guess, comprehensive API agreements with a lot of those apps, so you can basically do more. But in terms of interface, I love working with Make. It's for dummies like me. It's like super, it's super retard proof. So
yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I also understood from the engineers that's more developer friendly.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. No, but when you look at it like on its face, you right away see that the Make interface is much more polished. You have, in those processes called ZAPs in Zapier, right? But in Make they call it scenarios, and you really have this this mind map board where you can just drag and drop modules and connect them and disconnect them. You can put filters in between the modules. It's all super intuitive, to be honest. So good for the developers, but also for me, I guess.
Yeah, nice.
So I just selected a couple of workflows that are right now costing me a lot of time, and I try to automate those. And then you go from there, because when you have a scenario, it's also quite easy to expand it. So the YouTube shorts upload scenario is, I also am adding a completion indicator, because there's an interval of like 5 minutes or 15 minutes before it checks if there's new rows. But I don't want that. I want to be able to finish a row and then the trigger goes. So you have completion indicators. One thing on my list is that I want to do API calls to ChatGPT, so that based on my instructions, it basically auto-generates the title, the description, and the text, and then pushes it to the spreadsheet. And when that spreadsheet row is complete, then you get the trigger.
Some hacker boy stuff, man.
It's cool, man. Yeah, but right now, and this is also to the point that we were just discussing about developers, and is that people like me can do this stuff right now.
Yeah, but these are also the kind of things that developers get really fucking tired of.
Exactly. I understand. Yeah, I understand. Well, so
it's nice that people can do it themselves.
Yeah, so the playing field is leveled for people like me.
Yeah, no, it's good. What I also found interesting is we were talking about this a while ago, to have some extra help in the marketing team.
Yeah.
And then one of us said, okay, let's automate instead of hire, and then, okay, I like that, but then we're not like automating, because we're too busy. Yeah. So we now hired someone that can support the marketing team, and also, more like back office management work.
Yeah. Which I like, by the way. It's a good decision, I think.
Executive assistant. There's lots of stuff that needs to happen behind the curtains, that no one sees. But yeah, work that needs to get done.
Yep.
And Coke is such a terrible drink.
Yeah.
For the podcast.
I know. But it's fun because of the expressions, because I will probably pick a thumbnail, with you or me looking like like this.
I felt like you are doing that for me, but you're picking like pretty solid frames for yourself.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I knew you were doing that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so now we hired someone, and then force ourselves into writing SOPs, standard operating procedures. And I think it's such a great hack. Yeah, of course you need to pay someone to do that work, but simultaneously it also forces you into writing out exactly what needs to happen, which is just the first step into automating things. And I was just surprised, because we have so many clever things within Eli 5, also in Noco, and then there's still like tons of things that you're like, okay, are we always still doing this manually all the time, including myself? And it's just, I thought it was nice. Like, I think if you are having a similar kind of problem where you think you can automate the shit out of your business, I think this is a great first step. I mean, I'm also surprised because a year ago we were piloting this business for workflow automation and AI. And we talked to a whole lot of people, mostly SMEs, and the majority has zero systems designed. Like, there's no workflows documented. There's no clear system who does what. Nothing. And I'm like, you're so far away from automating your business. You know, like I'm surprised at how many people are not ready yet for what's currently already possible.
Yeah,
but then you have this whole now maybe diving a little bit into a rant about this, but then you have this whole gap between efficient companies and inefficient companies, and over the last decades, maybe in one domain a little bit more than the other, but over the past decades, you could get away with being less efficient. You just had a little bit more hassle. You had a little bit less profit.
Yeah, but you could easily compensate that with enough will and motivation and working hard.
Yeah, but you could get away. You know, like when a competitor took 30% profit, you took 20. You know,
yeah, no
they
problem.
got by. They got
no
by.
Problem.
But now that competitor that got 30% profit is probably going to increase that a lot. You know, depending on the industry and the domain of the business, of course. But you're going to lose if you don't up your game on this.
Yeah, because the improvements in efficiency will be, I guess, exponential, and instead of linear compared to
so.
less.
Well, I mean, in most businesses, you can automate the overhead. You know, you cannot you cannot really automate the landscaping, the actual landscaping in a landscaping business, but you can automate a lot of overhead.
There's a lot that you can, and people are doing that. You know, the boring businesses. Philosophy where
I love boring businesses, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but I don't like the term boring business, but I only use it because that's what it's kind of called for, with the tech boys buying boring businesses and then automating the crap out of them. You know, but there's another sort of contrarian point that I liked, to be honest. I saw this.
Oh, we're still talking about Greg Eisenberg.
No.
Okay.
So I saw another tweet, which I think is a little bit underrated because I kind of liked the angle. It was just a good angle. Maybe it's a bit salesy. It's from a guy named Ryan Hildebrand, and he's his headline says, "I quit my job automating billion-dollar manufacturing companies to help you automate your business." TED speaker, Ironman engineer. Okay, whatever. I don't know the guy, but I like this tweet. He said, "The actual fastest way to 50K a month.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of Zapier, ditch ClickUp. Get one Google Sheet, one row per client deliverable, columns for status properties, that's it. Spend all extra thinking on sales and marketing. Don't worry about too many systems. Just write down what you do and don't be afraid to experiment. Call me when that starts to break." I really liked the angle of his tweet because obviously he's helping businesses automate, but he's basically saying stop automating, you know, just start working. Grab a spreadsheet, put everything in there, organize it properly, and just go. And just so, yeah. And when there's like a bottleneck, you know, or you're sort of short in time shortage comes up, and things really start to break because your revenues is going up, then call someone like me to help you automate. But right now, don't even think about it because you're just, you know. This makes me think of the bell curve.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I had to look up what ClickUp was, by the way.
Oh, yeah, ClickUp is something like Monday.com. You know, it's a project management, workload management platform.
And another one.
Yeah, man, but ClickUp is very popular as well. Yeah, it's like a fierce competition with Monday, I think, and all of those platforms. So yeah, well, I like the angle. So well done, Ryan. It's a nice.
I think he has a point. I mean, everyone is setting themselves up with hundreds of tools, right? And crafting all these like, happy flows for how they do their work, and then the work actually needs to happen. But I think it's way better to document everything and to just get going. Minimum amount of tools. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Some more
exciting. Ian.
Exciting stuff. Yeah. Some more stuff in the list. Who is Geo Scotty, by the way?
I see that name coming back quite often.
Yeah, it's always in our list, but we never seem to discuss it. Geo Scotty. Okay, I don't know.
It's 3 times in our list today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and a lot of different angles I see as well.
Odd. Anyhow,
okay.
Wow. How's the new house going?
Well, in progress, man. In progress. Not allowed to disclose too much information about that, but no, I'm. We're figuring out financing and some other stuff there. So it's. not gonna lie, it's keeping me occupied a little bit, man.
Yeah, but in the end, it's the dream, right?
It is really the dream, and if it would fall through, I would be disappointed. I can tell you that for sure. I will take a couple of days off and just do something else.
House in the middle of the fields. You open your doors. You got some cows and sheeps. You have like this little what is it, like a little pond behind the house where you can build like a nice little sauna overlooking the fields,
like a barrel sauna, you know.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the end game.
Yeah, and man. We'll have a nice guest room, guest house at the other side of it. So you're more than welcome to you and your family to stay. Maybe we can do the podcast from there. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, if I can get a sauna subscription as well, that would be nice.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, so you see that this is, everyone is still like looking for their next apartment in Amsterdam. Yeah. But this is the way, man.
Well, I mean, me and my girl have been, did that as well for quite a while.
Me too. I mean, I'm living here now for 15 years.
It's so addictive. Like, yeah, okay, let's stay in Amsterdam, city for a couple more years, And then you start looking for apartments, and you see the crap that they offer for the ridiculous prices. We at some point, like after almost a dozen times looking at a certain apartment, we're like, are we really that crazy? Are we really that stupid?
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, man. That's the right thing to do.
Let's get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah. I mean,
get a Starlink.
That's actually, I looked into the Starlink, so the heavy duty one, like the one you actually put on your roof. And I still have to figure out
Acting here like we don't have internet outside.
Right, but listen.
But I just think it just suits the project, get a Starlink.
For sure, but also, I mean, if that sort of solves the whole internet connectivity need for that house,
Dude, next time we should need to drink water again, man.
Yeah,
They don't even pay us that much.
No. Coca-Cola, up your game, or we'll ditch you for something else. We'll ditch you for Keat Energy. So, if that solves the entire internet need for that house, of course I do Starlink, because it isn't even that expensive, to be honest. Compared to like the local providers, it's not that expensive. I looked it up. It's
can you get it in the Netherlands?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you can just do a postal code check on the website. I'm opening it right now. And it's like you pay a couple of €100 for the actual device and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then, residential. It's 50. Here we go. It starts at €50 a month. So let me see.
Okay, but that's like the price for basic internet as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like all the providers like Ziggo and stuff. I mean, you also pay like €70 for internet because they always try to package with a TV package and stuff like that. You can't just have internet from them.
How are people still watching TV?
Well, that's another thing. Okay. I don't watch it. A good show every now and then.
I found it so annoying with getting an internet provider. You had to buy the TV package as well. Anyhow, the house project.
I know, man. It's again. I just hope that it goes through quite smoothly, and that we have some time to prepare everything. And you will be one of the first ones to know, obviously, when it does. A couple more days, hopefully, and then hopefully some white smoke there. We'll see. And it's a project. Look, it looks magnificent. You can live there, but yeah, definitely some urgent renovation needs there.
Yeah, but it's dude, it's 100% farmhouse accelerationism.
It really is, dude.
It's the way to go.
I was there the other week because I had to, we had to do a little inspection and stuff like that as part of the whole process. And I was there like for the third time, and I was taking it all in, and it was just the weather. It was this crisp, cold winter weather, which I didn't experience yet. The previous times I was there. And it smelled good, dude. I was upstairs looking at the window, and they have these little lines of sight, right, where it goes through, a tree, out of the window, through, right next to a tree, and then you see this little spot where you can actually look out over the field, and you see those sheep there. It was just perfect. It's such a magnificent spot, really. And it was only the third time that it truly hit me. how great of a spot it is. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, dude.
And I'll probably start some sort of when this all gets sorted, I will probably start a YouTube channel or something and just document every little renovation project. That, some drone shots of the fields and the cows and the sheep and the meadows, and good barbecues with friends in the summer.
I like
and
it,
just fuck going out to dinner. Like I was talking about this with my girl. We have been talking about this. Why would we ever go out to dinner again? Of course, sometimes it's nice, but I have been going out to dinner my entire life, like frequently, serious frequency. And but we just want to be in the kitchen all the time, just baking some fresh sourdough bread. Yeah, be there and just make your own food, eat a little bit clean, and probably.
Ever since I got on that like insane seed oil hate. I mean, not because I was on the hype train, but because I had a serious like histamine intolerance.
Yeah.
But ever since I am avoiding that stuff, I hardly go to restaurants anymore. I mean, and at the same time, I also find it less good than my own cooking. Like a little humble brag here.
That's the thing. That is my point. Is that
the only place where you can get a better steak is Bar Nestor in San Sebastian.
God, we should go. We should go back there some time, man. But yeah, that's the thing. It's not about the price I pay for the food, because I go to the butcher and I buy this nice chunk of Chateaubriand. It also costs me a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the times you can do more at home, for the same price that you would pay in any random restaurant.
You still pay a lot of money.
Yeah, that my point is value for money. Like 8 out of 10 times when I go to a restaurant and you pay, depending if you're together, you pay a minimum of 100 euros if you're together with the two of you, a minimum, right?
Dude, that's a burger joint, man.
Right. In Amsterdam sort of is.
Yeah, maybe it's also good to...
But 8 out of 10 times I'm like, did I really get value for the money that I paid? No, I don't think so.
It's just sometimes fun with friends. But then, having dinner at home cooked meal with friends is also a lot of fun.
Beautiful.
And I think we also need to add. I mean, we do live in Amsterdam, and I think hospitality here is incredibly sad. There's just not, like, every time I do go out, whether it's lunch or dinner, I'm just surprised with how absolutely bad, how the service is so bad here.
Crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, a few notable exceptions, of course.
Of course.
But, expats everywhere, serving you, which is in itself, well, nothing wrong with it, you could say.
I feel like it's mostly, like, people that are studying here.
Yeah.
That don't give a crap about, like, your restaurant experience.
No. That's what I miss about where I come from, man. The province of Limburg.
That's the same where I come from.
Yeah.
It's such a contrast.
Oh, it's so nice, man.
Yeah,
that's what I miss. Like,
did you also, by the way, talking about this, I read, besides all the other crazy stuff that's going on from people getting arrested in Germany for memes and such, but did you know that I think our mayor initiated this? They're banning dancing in restaurants in Amsterdam.
Why are you always? Why are you? But why are you always bringing this stuff up in the podcast? Because you know how badly I respond to that stuff, and then I go on a rant, and then after the podcast you say, "Ooh, that was quite a rant." I don't know if that's great.
What do you think of this?
Nothing surprises me anymore, because we have a communist mayor, literally a communist mayor. Literally, she's from the party where
This is how you do it, guys. This is how you trigger you.
She's literally from the party where the main guy for that was the main guy for decades. Literally traveled to Cambodia in the 70s because he was so in awe of the regime of Pol Pot. That guy, I'm not even joking. So, visiting the killing fields, like, hey, thumbs up, guys. Oh, yeah, it's such a guy. Well, communism and, so the greater good. So, she's literally she has a communist background. She stands on the shoulders of communist leaders here in the Netherlands. Does it all surprise? Does it surprise you?
You're not allowed to dance anymore.
I mean, the guy who was their campaign leader was actually convicted for a bomb for letting off a pipe bomb in his activist Rote Armee days. And now he has been, or he was for a long time, he was the campaign leader. So
you know too much of this shit, man.
I know, but it's better that someone knows it. And
I'm getting into politics lately because I feel there's this like little urgency currently. I used to always be very apolitical, like friends talk politics. I always found it normie stuff, like can't do anything about it.
Yeah, me too, to some degree, yeah.
But
it's pointless.
It is great fun though to trigger you on these topics.
I know, but you know what? I'm saying it, but you sometimes send me something like you type these essays that
I don't post
that are for me, and then I say, okay, I admire this. This is really really well written. And then it somehow disappears into the void. But you know what?
Dude, most people around me agree with these things
Good
that I'm writing and thinking. But
good for you. Keep a lid on it.
It's still like every normal person in the Netherlands agrees with me a lot on these topics.
Yeah, they just don't have the stones to say it.
No one is saying it.
No, and maybe they're also not... they don't have a intricate enough understanding of it, and they can only bash the symptoms like immigration and all that stuff. That's not really my thing. Those are all symptoms I think of more deeply rooted cultural issues. But let's start a new separate podcast to talk about this for hours and hours. Anyway,
wrapping it up.
No, not really. Actually, no. I'm just getting started. You
really?
Sort of hype me up now with your silly questions about politics. Should we talk about the JD Vance speech about
okay
about Europe?
Okay.
No, I just want to have your take on just your take on it.
Okay.
I'm turning the tables on you.
I found it a powerful speech, man. I actually commented on a couple of posts on X, like, dude, it's so nice to
with
have
your
someone
burner account.
With my own account. Oh. It's so nice to have someone with some influence actually speaking up about this, like, terrible state of Europe.
Yeah,
and so many Americans were telling me that JD Vance is not significant, and there were a bunch of Dutch people or like European people that they were definitely not agreeing with me. I'm like, okay, maybe I should not get involved with this stuff.
Yeah. No, but, focusing on the speech, I thought it was a powerful speech, and it was probably, in my opinion, a long time coming, right? And he basically had 3 issues, if I counted correctly. So one of the things he called the European leaders out on is that they have their mouths full with protecting democracy, all of that stuff. But then in practice they do the exact opposite.
Dude, you're getting arrested for memes in Germany now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're getting arrested in the UK for silent prayers outside of an abortion clinic.
Yeah.
Whatever your stance on that is.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
So that hypocrisy, basically, JD Vance called them out on it. And that was one. And the second one was more geopolitical, right? This was about the attempts of the United States to end the conflict that is going on over there in the East. Mm-hmm. And while Europe is very much, or the European leaders are very much in the mode of actually aggravating this conflict.
It's so weird, man.
It's so weird.
Go back, man, 10 years in time, and everyone in Europe was like blaming US for warmongering.
Yeah.
And now
and they had a point. They had a point.
Yeah, the point. Yeah.
But it used to be that sort of the left was like always the movement for peace and pacifism, right? And anti-war. But I feel like that has completely flipped. So. The people who are preaching pacifism, anti-war, establishing peace, are the ones more on the right side of the spectrum now. Well, it seems that
so weird.
The left-leaning people are constantly aggravating and sort of are very thirsty for war for some reason. It's such a weird, because I'm old enough to remember when that hadn't shifted yet, when it was the other way around. So weird. Such a mind.
Yeah, I think our entire life.
Yeah.
Was like that.
Yeah, most
up until recently.
So what happened? Why do people seem to be so hungry for conflict? Is it like some sort of revenge on the world by proxy or something? I don't know, man. It really beats me. It's very weird to me.
It is absolutely weird, and I just cannot understand how you are against the US trying to finally resolve this issue that could have been prevented, and then you get like our European leaders, but also, look online on X, a whole bunch of regular citizens that are fiercely against that, and it's just it's beyond me, man. I just
It's strange.
it also what I find weird, what I was just also saying, a lot of people around me have like similar thoughts as I do regarding like safety on our own streets, like, and sources of problems on the streets. And then when you look online or you look at our leaders, it's the complete opposite what I hear from them. It's just like, obviously we are quite, it's all a bit polarized, right? But do I say that right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if polarized is the word. It's so weird, that system that we have here in Europe. It's like when JD Vance gave that speech, and then the immediate responses to all of that is like, guys, didn't you get the memo?
Yeah.
Didn't you get the memo? There's a new sheriff in town. That's what JD Vance said as well. Didn't you get the memo? Are you seriously doubling down on this destructive path that you have been on by suppressing, dissident opinions, by increasing your warmongering? Are you seriously doubling down? Again, didn't you read the memo? So I'm very, very curious what this path will lead to. And it's a very weird kind of cognitive dissonance, so it seems, amongst the so-called leaders of the European countries. Very curious where this will go. I feel like this is a path of destruction, self-destruction.
Yeah, well, that would be terrible, but
yeah,
it feels like there's no common ground to be found. Like I was saying, like there's a lot of polarization between what we think and the people that are basically revolting against the speech, like the one from Vance. And what I just don't understand is the things that, well, let's say the things that we want are not that weird, like a bit more prosperity in Europe.
Would say so. One would
a little
say
bit
so.
less regulation, a little bit less taxation, a little bit less. Fuck, I forgot my word.
Yeah, no, but I catch your drift, right? Of course, those are all very normal things, but
censorship. Thank you.
Yeah, but
less censorship.
But I think that we are sort of debating this, or we should look at this on a completely different level that is much more frightening, or much more, I would say, hopeless, or a dead end. It can't be rationalized anymore, and this is what you see now in the US as well, of course, with Doge and the USA dismantling. There's nothing rational about the stuff that they have been gutting, and I think that currently, sort of the leadership of the European countries, with some notable exceptions, there is no ratio. You saw it during COVID. There was no ratio. There were no rational arguments that you could give to influence that discussion or that debate. And I think it's the same way here with all the main narratives, like the geopolitical strategy, the warmongering, the censorship, the regulatory pressure that keeps increasing, the tax pressure that keeps increasing. It is a machine with no stop button, if you catch my drift.
But I also believe that there's a certain amount of nodes of influence, and then there's a whole bunch of like people around it that just follow those nodes,
Sure.
So I think I have some nodes flipped the other way.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, like, the majority of people is maybe becoming sane again. It's that just. I mean, I don't want to bitch about people that think different or anything, but just it feels like there's no possibility for a constructive conversation around things
that's
anymore.
very tough.
And I mean, I find myself across the political spectrum on multiple topics. You know, like I said earlier, like I would probably consider myself more apolitical than having like a certain political preference.
That is naturally how I am wired as well.
But it's just so funny to
just
get
so
drawn funny
in.
to me to like are these things that I'm thinking now like extreme right wing thoughts, you know? Like
Not at all. 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, they would have been perfectly normal opinions.
Yeah.
You know, but things have been shifting, but there will be there will be a change. Anyway, and that's enough politics for today. Thanks for luring me in.
You started.
Yeah, man. So, you talked about Eli 5. On the Noco side, also some interesting developments. As you know, as of 2025, we put much more focus on CRO. So outside of our core offering.
Dude, you're making a hard switch here, man.
Yeah, because I really want to get out of the politics.
Let's do some small talk then.
No. Oh, I can't tell you about. Okay, then.
No, go ahead.
That's such a shitty. That's such a shitty move.
But let's do it.
No,
let's talk
I'm skipping it.
Why? Go. Continue.
Momentum is gone.
Continue.
No.
Noco.
Yeah, no, we're having a.
You see. Okay, let's go. Noco.
Yeah, I know. If you keep interrupting me, then I can't tell you. No. What I want to say is that what's cool is that you now see the momentum, picking up with our CRO focus. I'm spending quite a lot of time on that. You were talking about SOPs. You know, those are sort of being established very quickly now.
Man.
With the cases that we now have with certain customers, where we're setting up their whole tracking architecture from scratch, so we can actually uncover the user journeys that are sometimes just completely unbeknownst to them still, because they're in such an early phase.
I think it's a great service, and it's quite simple and doable for Noco, and so valuable for your clients.
Yeah, and the trick here is, and this is something that we work really hard on, how crazy as that sounds, to keep it as simple as possible, because you have a chance, especially when you're motivated and you want to contribute value, you have the chance to overcomplicate it. So it's for us, it's a constant.
Never go full retard.
Never go full retard. Never go see the R in CRO stands for that. So the trick is to give them what they need, because don't confuse them or overwhelm them with all kinds of also internal tasks that they have to figure out for you. Before it's getting set up. So it's also about pacing ourselves a little bit. Because you can already contribute quite a significant step without overwhelming or confusing the customer. Yeah. And now I just wanted to say that I have been enjoying myself with that. It's a very cool addition to our core offering, building websites for SaaS startups. And I just have a great feeling about this. And then the trick is, of course, standardizing it, which we have been doing, but you also learn with every case. So how can you make it as easy as possible for a customer to have like a super accessible report with items and recommendations that are immediately actionable? So, man, that's cool.
I haven't seen that report yet.
No, I will show you. Yeah, because you've been so busy with driving yourself crazy and doing all these recruitment calls.
Dude, I don't understand how people are doing this day in, day out. Recruiters do this day in, day out.
Yeah.
And I'm not even...
Isn't
I don't
your
even have
brother
to...
running a similar agency?
He is.
With the guys just calling, the full days of calling.
It's crazy, man. I don't even need to chase talent. Like I mainly lean on my advertising to get in potential candidates. But being a recruiter means you do this day in, day out. And you constantly have to call talent to see if they are open for...
probably depending
on... job. You need to call... potential clients that actually buy developers from you.
But I think the feeling there is a little bit different, because you do have to call a lot, but it's also you're more sort of, there's a more sophisticated process, I guess, sort of the whole organization.
Well, you know what I do like about it? That it also, if I look at my brother's business, It's just like completely sales focused. The entire business is sales focused.
Yeah, completely.
It's all you do. It's all you do.
But these guys go hard, right? They have they also established like this culture, this diehard boiler room sales culture, right?
Yeah.
with a lot of incentives, both soft and hard incentives.
Yeah. It is.
I like it.
Like the system of it, I think is it's so simple. It's so effective. Like have certain rewards, have big payouts to people that perform well. The entire organization is sales.
Yeah. That's
wonderful. But yeah. I'm getting a text here.
I see. Is that your wife that you need to come home because it's too late?
This is the moment.
This is the moment to wrap it up. Okay,
yes.
I'm hitting stop record, and we'll just sprint away from here because I have to head home as well. But it was fun catching up with you. A bit sad that I, let myself persuade
into politics.
Yep. But you live and you learn, I guess.
Yeah.
This was episode 17. Yeah, we're racking up a nice amount of episodes now, and looking forward to the next one already.
All right. Have a good evening.
Ciao.